Hello and welcome to our demonstration of how to enter payments into the Centrecharge sales ledger. Firstly, go to the sales ledger section, click on the sales ledger button, and this will provide you a list of all customers and the balances that you have on every account. Down here are the balances on every account. Now, I'm going to do a scenario where I've received a payment for a company called Sterling Offices. So, simply find the company. You can either use the search facility here and type in Sterling and it will find the record. Double click on the highlighted record, but be careful not to click on the hypertext, the client hypertext, or that will take you to the account screen. Simply double click on the record and you will see here a list of all transactions that have happened for this particular client. Within the left hand side, a summary of their credit limit, the deposit that you're holding, the current balance on the account, and the total amount of cash and payments that you have received so far. On the left hand side you can see invoices and you can see payments, and if there were any journal credits or debits they would be listed here. We can see from the outstanding column that the total amount outstanding on this account relates to these two invoices here, number 35 and 37. The scenario I'm about to show you is where we receive an amount of cash but not the exact amount of cash. So in this case I'm going to assume the client has only paid £2,000 even though they owe us £3,895.35. To add in a payment, click the New Payment button. This pulls up the payment screen. Make sure you select the date of the payment. Then type in any reference that you like regarding the payment. This could be a check number, it could be a reference to the invoice that you're paying, so I'm going to type in here payment for invoice 35. And at this point the customer, and the payment type here is a check, has only paid us £2,000. You'll notice that that £2,000 is currently unallocated. So you must allocate these funds against the invoices that you want to pay. So, for example, there's outstanding on invoice number 35 is £88.90. So type in here £88.90. You'll notice that the unallocated amount has been amended automatically, having reduced by the amount that has been allocated to invoice number 35. So the remainder of the payment needs to be allocated against the outstanding invoice here. So even though it's not the correct amount of the invoice, you can put in this amount. So type in here 1911.10, hit return. You'll notice that the unallocated amount has returned to 0. Click OK. And what you'll see is the payment has now been entered into the sales ledger. The invoice number 35 now has nothing outstanding, and the balance on invoice number 37 has been reduced from 3806.45 to 1895.35. Okay, so that's really how to put in a payment into Centrecharge. Now, in the example that the customer was to make an overpayment, the same principle applies. So what we will do here is click on New Payment. The customer, I'm going to assume, is going to make an overpayment, so check received for invoice 37, and they make an overpayment, so I'm going to say they paid £2,000 even though they only owe us 1895.35. So I'm just going to put in the overpayment here, and what I need to do is make sure that the amount of the payment needs to be allocated against this invoice. So the same thing applies. I put in 1895.35, hit return. The unallocated amount will be 104.65. Click OK. what will happen is the invoice is now paid off, but we do have an outstanding amount which is a negative, a debit amount of 104.65, and we'll see here that's also updated on the balance of the overall account, and it's just stipulating that at this point in time we owe the customer £104.65. That's the overpayment that they have made. So just to recap, we've shown how to add in a payment and how to add a payment and allocate it against an invoice, and also an overpayment. Thank you very much.